Well, hello. Welcome to another edition of Tea Time Chat with your humble host, Ryan. Today we are having some peppermint tea. It is very refreshing. Great for first thing in the morning if you do not need some caffeine to get going. So let's just pour a little more here. So, today we're going to talk about a bass guitar, and not just any bass guitar. But this is a bass guitar that belongs to a good friend and the pastor of the church where I go. He's a great musician. He plays bass and guitar, and he sings very well. And I used this as a backup in our worship service the other week. I actually play bass for my church. We were having some trouble with the sound system, and this being a J bass is quite loud, so it was able to cut through the sound system problems we were having. Whereas my P-style bass couldn't really. So what is this? This is a Peavy Millennium BXP. This is made in Indonesia. This is a J bass style that has the two pickups, so we'll take a look at it in just a second. Why do I have it, you may ask, if it's not mine? Well, it was in bad need of a setup. Actually looks pretty decent right now, but when I played the thing the other week, the neck was warped so bad, and the rear saddles were set so high that the strings over here at the end of the fretboard were easily half an inch off the end of the fretboard. And it was so bad that when you played up here, the notes were sharp. That's not any indictment against the bass itself or against my pastor or anything. I mean, he bought the thing and plays it as a backup when I'm out or something like that. It's actually a pretty nice bass. So let's have a look. All right, so here's the headstock. So Fender style. So you've got the string tree here. So you see there's the tuners. And this is obviously maple neck, rosewood fretboard. Okay, so you see there we have the dot inlays. See the number of frets we have. So we've got a sort of quilted, I don't know what this is. I guess this is a quilted top. It's actually quite pretty. So you see we've got the two J-style pickups, two volumes, volume for each pickup, and a tone. So you see we've got, this is a string through body. There's the typical Fender style saddles. So like I said, I set the neck relief on this. I also set the action height. As you can see, neck relief, action height. Set the intonation. You can see here how far the saddle had to go back, and because it's a string through, very difficult setting the intonation. So if we get this restrung, we probably want to do the top loading, have the strings go through the back of the bridge here. That'll make it easier to adjust the intonation, because there's actually no room to go back, because you see the strings at like a 90-degree angle there. So truss rod adjustment there at the bottom of the neck. So you see here's the back. There's the 5-bolt pattern. It's actually quite a lovely wood grain in the back there. You can see in the reflection of the back, you see my phone and you see my Suzuki violin book. So this is quite different, and quite different than my bass, which I need to review at some point. But my bass being 24 frets, the neck is completely different. This has a very narrow nut up here. The neck stays very narrow, but it is thick. So my personal bass, my Washburn, is the exact opposite. The neck is a lot wider, the fretboard's wider, and the neck itself is thinner. And that being my bass, that just happens to be the feel that I prefer. So this feels a little bit different. Not to say that it's bad. I mean, that's something like that is purely personal preference. But this is very pretty. After I did the setup, it plays very well. So let's hear a little bit of how it sounds. So this is the bridge pickup. You can hear it is humming. If I turn the middle pickup or the neck pickup on, it's hum canceling. So that's kind of cool. It is being, like I said, being a J bass, it's a lot louder, a lot higher output than my Washburn, which is P bass style. So I'll just let you hear how it sounds with each pickup combination. So again, this is the bridge pickup. Alright, so the challenge of doing this is obviously having good camera focus. Let's hear how this bad boy sounds with its humming bridge pickup. So E string, A string, D, G. Bridge pickup obviously is pretty punchy. Alright, here's the middle. A lot bassier. Here's both together in hum canceling mode. So with any guitar with two pickups, I like to run both the bridge and the neck simultaneously. I think it gives you a very nice balanced tone, so that's what we're going to do today. You get the punchiness of the bridge pickup with the smooth rounded bassier tones of the neck pickup. So I really like that. So both my Telecaster and my Jackson V, I play in that configuration a lot of times, get both pickups going. Alright, so let's hear some more about how this sounds. We'll start here with the bridge pickup. Alright, middle pickup. Alright, both pickups. Alright, so those are your basic sounds going through a scale. Some of the songs that we play are, a little bit faster. We have one song that's like, for the bass line, it's like 16th notes the whole song, which is, that's kind of rough. So we'll see how that goes. See what the action is actually quite reasonable now, so I should be able to play up on the higher registers without it being sharp. So it has a pretty punchy sound, especially with the neck, the bridge pickup on. Again, getting some clicky noise on the frets, which, you know, I happen to like. A little clicky noise, a little percussive action there. That's how I have my bass set up as well, very low action. Some of you may not like that. Let's hear the same kind of riff with the middle pickup on. So again with the bridge. Alright, so there's that. It definitely, this pickup definitely has a lot of punch to it. I'm not sure that I like that personally. I guess it's just something to get used to. My bass doesn't sound like that. So, you know, a J-style bass has, the jazz style bass has 2 pickups. Precision P bass just has the one in the middle with the split coils. So I feel like the P basses have a little bit more of a softer sound, but again, it's not an indictment about this bass. It's just like whatever you like. And I'm not used to playing this, and so not super used to hearing it. But let's hear maybe some root fifth type stuff. So we'll do a root fifth, do a little 1-6-4-5. I think this may actually be overdriving my amp a little bit. So hear the same riff on the bridge pickup. Alright, same riff on the middle pickup there. Alright, so that's pretty much what this bass sounds like. Again, so this is a Peavy Millennium BXP. Definite Fender style with the straight headstock. Pretty nice bass. I don't know what these retail for. I don't know if they're still even in production. But if you happen to find one of these kicking around a pawn shop or find it used, and you know you want a J-style bass, then definitely have that. The only caveat is, you know, make sure with any guitar that you find like that, make sure the setup is decent. If you don't know how to do the setup, if you don't know how to adjust the truss rod, you might have to get that done. I think a lot of times setups go for about like $60. So, and it's not hard to do yourself, but definitely, you know, you can mess up the neck or anything if you don't know what you're doing. but it makes a world of difference. Like when I first got this bass, it was just about unplayable. But a little love and care, a little, getting the excess neck relief out, setting up the saddle heights down here for your action, and setting the intonation, that's always a very frustrating process, is to get the intonation set properly. But if you can get that done, then great, right? Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining us, and hope you like the bass. I still think I prefer my Washburn, but not a bad bass. We'll be taking this back to its owner tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.